welcome to the extension part of the School of Eschatology. I'm your host, Dr. Kifa bin Israel, and I am so excited to have the extension part now. First of all, we have a television program now. Yay, 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 yay. I don't have my ad libs and all my other stuff, so I'll probably be acting a little bit stupid on this one. But yeah, we have our television program that's on the Now Network. Um, which is on every Wednesday at 6:30. If you don't have the capabilities to get the Now Network on your television, if you have an Android phone, if you have an iPhone, all you gotta do is look in your Apple Store or in your Google Store, and you can find the Now Network. Now, if you have a Roku television, and if I'm not mistaken, I wish I would have put the flyer up here, but I didn't. So y'all forgive me for that. But if you have a Roku television, you can go on there and download the Now Network. I think the letters for Roku television is RCL. For those of you that have an RCL television. Now, I don't think it works on Vizio, Samsung, so on like that, because a lot of y'all got Fire Stick. I think it's on the Fire Stick. Don't quote me on that. I will find out and get you guys that information so you guys can have access to the Now Network for every whatever when we come on. Okay. We're gonna be coming on every Wednesday. We have been coming on every Wednesday at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time. That means 5:30 on the Central Standard Time and 3:30 on my time, which is Mountain and Pacific. Today, I want to start out with the extension class of the School of Eschatology. And what I want to talk about today is spiritual counseling. I want to put in the chat, I think I'm going to do it, the link to come here with me and talk. Uh-oh. I think it did it. Yeah. So I've placed in the chat for all of you to watch, whether you're watching on YouTube, X, Twitter, or Twitch, because those are the three platforms that we're actually being seen on today. You right there in the chat is the link for you to be able to come up and share your thoughts and so on like that, because this is a open type class. Now, it doesn't necessarily, spiritual counseling does not derivative from Christianity. Let me just say that very strongly. Christianity is the basis of a lot of things, but it's not a means for a be all to know all. So, with that being said, with that being said, we are trying to work this into spirituality, which affects Christians, universalism people, metaphoric and metaphysical understandings, and all understandings. Trying to get to the core basis of everything for everybody. Okay. Because when you're dealing with people that need counseling or need spiritual counseling, you can't come in there with a big wall and a big fence to be all that you think you can be. Okay. Um Scriptures on spiritual counseling or counsel, if the Bible says, they emphasize on seeking wisdom from God and from godly people. All right. Pretty simple, right? Um, let's go to Psalms 38. Excuse me, not 38. Let's go to Psalms 32. Psalms 32, and we want to go to verse number 8. And this is going to make a lot of sense in just a second once I get it all situated for you guys. The book of Psalms, one of my favorite books. And I think I'm going to be reading this from the scriptures, the Hebrew translated Bible, to get a really good understanding. Psalms 32 and 8. Let me get there real quick. I'm not as fast as some of y'all. Okay, Psalms 32 and verse number 8. Let's see what's in the hidden door. It says, "Let me instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. Let me counsel. My eye be on you." Interesting. Very interesting. Let me read that one more again. Verse number 8, it says, "Let me instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. Let me counsel. My eye be on you." Okay, first part of spiritual counsel is to look within the heart and the soul of the individual. And you're going to ask me, you're going to say, how can I do that? Well, there ain't but one way: spiritual discernment. You have to have a sense of spiritual discernment to be able to have a conversation with people that are in need. Hear me now. It says, "Let me instruct you and teach you in the way you should go." So there's got to be a sense of compatibility with the person that you are counseling in order to bring them over the hump. Got to be some type of compatibility. There's got to be something relatable that you can touch, you can go in and see in order to make something happen. Because you got to remember, the people that you're dealing with are wounded in their heart and in their spirit. And if they're wounded in their heart and their spirit, then they're not going to want to receive counsel. Okay. So that's the reason why I say you can't go in there with the big guns pointing fingers at people, ready to condemn them for what they may have done or may not have done. You have to approach a person with some type of plausibility, relatability, something that can be touched between you and that person. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Something that can be touched, something that can be to the point, on point with that person. Help me, somebody. Whew. Wow. Remember that Psalms 32, verse number 8, for those of you that want biblical standards. Now let's go to another one, which is Proverbs, the second chapter. Proverbs, the second chapter. I like Proverbs very much. Proverbs, the second chapter. Now I like this one a lot better than what we just read, because this goes into a little bit more detail as to the connection between spirituality and humanity, to try to help people in counseling and help them with tough situations. Verse number 1, it says, "My son, if you accept my words and treasure up my commands with you, so that you make your ear attend to wisdom, incline your heart to understanding. For if you cry for discernment, lift up your voice for understanding. What did I tell y'all in the beginning? You got to have a sense of discernment in order to do this thing called spiritual counseling. There's no title in this type of work. You know, you could be a bishop, you could be an evangelist, all that honorific stuff. You could be all of that stuff, but your main job is to be friend. Hello, somebody. It may bring you into a position of prosperity, money. Yes. But you have to be in this thing for the love of people. Do you hear what I'm saying? You have to be in it for the love of people and the emotions that people carry. Because you have to have the spirit of discernment to be able to not only be relatable to people, but be real to them. People are looking for real. And if you're not producing real, they're going to be able to know that right off the bat with a lack of sincerity for their situation. Oh, yeah, let me just put it out there plain and simple for you. For the lack of sincerity for their situation, they're going to know whether you're real about this or whether you're not real. They're going to know. People always know. That's why I try my best to mix laughter into my conversation. I pull side jokes. Anybody that knows me knows that I love to pull side jokes and try to make you feel a certain type of way to get your mind off of your issues. That's a directive that I use, It's not something that I do because I'm goofy. I know a lot of people think I'm goofy, but hey, the shoe fits, wear it. If the shoe fits, I was watching my friend yesterday, Juice and talk radio show, Miss Regina, and she had me cracking up because she was talking about some current issues that are crazy, and she brought up William McCrae, Sir William, and I just started cracking up. He was with Archbishop Ebenar Jordan, Master Prophet. It was his birthday, and I was cracking up at what he had on. He's a stylist now, but I'm just saying. I use that as an example to let you guys know that you have to mix sense of humor into everything that you do. You really do. If you're going to be relatable to people, people don't care nothing about what your exegy and theology and eschatology. They don't care nothing about that. Now that is my job, bar none, to bring out end time circumstances and situations. But in the midst of that, which is my job, I also have to bring out the reality of people that are struggling and why they struggle. Okay. In other words, as we say in sports, you got to dig in the trenches. You literally have to dig in the trenches to find out where people are at and where they're going. So you got to have a spirit of discernment. That blasted you, a counselor that cannot sense the room is not a counselor. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? A counselor that cannot sense the room is not a counselor. Hello, somebody. Oh, okay. There you go, Apostle Fresh Wind. Bless you, Apostle Fresh Wind. Now, if you, like I said, if you're going to go out here and you're going to be this great spiritual wonder and you want to help the people and do all these things and so on like that, you can't be afraid to touch the people. You can't be afraid to go in with the people and allow them to express to you what they're going through. Sometimes people just need a listener. Okay. You got to learn how not to be definitive and always talk. Now, those of us that have any experience as in leadership, whether it be in preaching or whether it be in the business world, we're used to taking charge. Excuse me. We're used to taking charge of a situation and owning it to the point where we have people that listen to us randomly for the wisdom that comes out of our mouth. Very rarely do we deal with situations where we have to sit on the other end and listen. I need somebody to hear me now. This is going to be key in your development for becoming a spiritual counselor or being a spiritual guide. Because in different, people may not like the term spiritual counselor. Some people like the term spiritual guide. And when you have a spiritual guide or counselor, whichever way you want to go, you are a comfort. Okay. Remember that the Messiah himself, that Jesus said to his apostles, disciples at the time, what he said to them is that I'm going to leave you a comforter. And this comforter is going to bring all things back to remembrance. In other words, all the promises that have been given to you and they have been made for you, this comforter is going to not only remind you of these things, but he's going to make sure that those things are accomplished in you, to you, through you. Hello, somebody. So the spirit of discernment is very important in spiritual counseling. I'm in verse number 4 of chapter number 2 of Proverbs. For those of you that want a Bible interpretation, if you seek her as silver and search for her, we're talking about wisdom. You seek her as silver and search for her as hidden treasures. Then you would understand the fear of Jehovah and find the knowledge of Elohim. Oh, y'all don't mess with y'all ain't gonna mess with me up in here. Okay. I ain't even got time to break down the substance between Jehovah and Elohim. Elohim is the complete wholeness of God through the persons of God, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. When we speak in the terms of reverence, the term of reverence in the Hebrew is the phrase Yet He Vav He. Yet He Vav He is translated or transliterated into the English form of Yehovah. Now, purposely, some people have taken that name and changed the Y part and they put the J in there and they say Jehovah, but it's actually Yehovah. Okay? Yehovah. Whew, my goodness. Praise be unto Yah for the power and the mighty presence of him. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. He has outstretched hands and feet that were nailed, and that brings in the power of Yehovah. Now, some people like to use the phrase Yahweh. I don't have a problem with that, but understand where that comes from. I don't have enough time to talk about it on today. But when you use the phrase Yahweh, you have to understand that the phrase Yahweh did not come from any Hebrew or Israeli source. It came from an Egyptian source. Ramadan, Ramesses, Ramah. They all of their gods were of form of a Yah form, but we'll talk about that on another time. Verse number 6: For Jehovah gives wisdom; out of his mouth come knowledge and understanding. When you're talking about being a spiritual counselor, that wisdom is so important. Okay. Okay, Apostle Fresh Wind, I think you just putting up the scriptures right. The Psalms 32:8. You can put up Proverbs the second chapter also in that same line of where I'm at today. I'm not going to stay on here long. I'm just going to stay on here long enough. It's an extension class, and having an extension class from the television show really gives me the opportunity to give explanation into whatever it is that I've started. Okay, into whatever it is that I've started. Hello, somebody. Whew. Some power. It's power in the name of the Lord. It's power in that. And it's also power in the understanding, getting the revelation of what he wants us to have so that we can be whole. That it does something, man. Later for this little play church type thing, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can play church all you want to. There's a lot of people that are in trouble playing church. I've been watching all the video vloggers here on YouTube, and it's a lot of mess going on. Now, I'm not a vlogger, so I dare not talk about some of the stuff that they're talking about unless I'm on one of their programs and I'm giving my commentary. But the truth of the matter is that a lot of this stuff that's happening in the church world is happening because there is no spiritual counsel. There is no one there that these preachers, pastors, whatever they want to call themselves, there's no one there for them to talk to. There is no accountability. Now, when you say accountability in the church world, that's a bad word or a bad phrase because that means that you're losing a grip on your power. You are no longer the head of your organization or the head of your whatever it is that you're trying to do. Not even knowing that there has to be some type of counsel to keep you on the straight and the narrow. Has to be some type of counseling. I mean, heck, look at Moses. Moses had the counsel of his father-in-law, Jethro. Y'all don't like what I'm saying here. Who did Jesus have counsel with? Well, we see that there were a lot of people that Jesus respected. Go dig and looking through the Gospels and see. There was quite a few people that he respected and went to for counsel. You have to understand, Jesus, the boy, listened to his parents. Okay. When he came of age, and at that time, 13 was a very reasonable age of wisdom for learning. When he came of age, he went to the council of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. He sat at their feet. You don't believe me? Go look at it. Okay. He sat at their feet for counsel. So this is a lot of consumption into our existential class. Words are so difficult to come out of my mouth. I apologize to all of y'all for that. So blessings to you, Prophetess Sharon Kane. It is good to see you too. Now, and earlier in the chat, I put in the link for some of you if you want to come in. You don't have to show your face or anything like that, but just come in and talk to me and ask me questions. We're talking about the steps and the process of becoming a spiritual counselor or spiritual guide. What's going on, DD? Blessings to you, prophetess. Oh my God, so good to see you. So, yeah, I want people to get the full meaning, the full process of it. For the reference of biblical order, I went to Psalms 32 and 8, and I also went to Proverbs, the second chapter. I think I've read all the way down to about the sixth verse. Yeah, because I'm right at number 7, trying to get you to understand. You got to lay down the titles. Okay, lay down the titles. Lay down your so-called authority in the house. Talking to you church preachers now. You got to lay that authority down and start picking up understanding with your discernment to be able to actually heal the sheep, because you're dealing with a lot of sheep that have been wounded, have been bruised, have been beaten, battered. They're not coming to you whole. I don't care what nobody say. They're not coming to you whole. And that's any situation, whether it be a church situation, whether it be a job situation, whether it be an organizational situation. You are dealing with a gang of wounded people. So what you're dealing with? You're dealing with a gang of wounded soldiers, wounded folks. And these wounded folks are looking for an alternative. And a lot of them are not going to just volunteer information out to you. That's where the spirit of discernment comes into play majorly, heavily, like never before. You got to have a spirit of discernment to be able to reach the points that the spirit is showing you. And a lot of times you can't speak it out loud. You got to know how to hit those points right on the measure, on that line. Okay. Not not only that, you got to look at what the legalities of that stuff is. I know y'all don't like hearing that, but the legalities of that stuff is that certain things you can't talk about, certain things you can't pull out, certain ways you can't use it. So if I was you, I would get abreasted up on my state law, wherever you are located at, and find out what it is that you can and can't do in expressing through counseling, guidance to people. Because until you get a license, you're just spiritual counsel. You're just a fall guy. Hello, somebody. You're just a fall guy. And he has, oh my goodness. Let me go there. Let me go there. Let me go back to Psalms 32. Let me go back to Psalms 32. Gotta go there to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Psalms 32 and 8. If I didn't give you no advice today, you better listen to what this word says in Psalms 32 and 8. Let me instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. That's big, y'all. Let me instruct you. Let me teach you in the way you. In other words, you already got sense. If you ain't got no sense, you ain't got no business counseling nobody. Can I say that again? If you ain't got no sense, you don't have no business counseling anybody, because you have come to instruct, you have come to teach. How can you instruct someone when you've never yielded to instruction yourself? There is no path that we can follow that shows us the obedience of your life. Am I talking to somebody? There is no sacrifice in your life, and then there's no knowledge to teach. There is no wisdom that has absorbed through you that goes to the pores into anyone else. Oh, yeah, I'm on a roll now. That disqualifies a lot of our leaders in the world today. Hello, somebody. That disqualifies them, because There is one thing that they have that is needed in the end game of counseling: wisdom. Y'all don't hear me? Wisdom. Wisdom. I think, was it Prophet Sharon Kane said, yep, there we go. Must move in wisdom. And without those key elements, see, you don't want to be dealing with somebody that can flip around and turn you upside down and tell you something about yourself. It happens all the time, because a lot of times some people have no business trying to counsel anyone because they haven't walked the walk and the journey in order to get where they need to go, which is somewhere on the other side. Hallelujah. Oh my goodness. I just opened up a can of worms. I just opened up a can of worms. So if you're considering a career in spiritual counseling, I want you to follow me on the extension classes, which I'm probably going to be doing uh, quite regular. I said it was going to be Monday and Tuesday, but actually I feel like doing it every day, even though I can't do it every day, because on Wednesdays, that's when I have the television program on the Now Network. Y'all check it out at 6:30 Eastern time on Wednesdays, 5:30 Central Standard Time, and 3:30 on the Pacific and the Mountain times. Okay. I see my partner, Providence Didi. That's really who basically helps me through a lot of the explanation and revelations that I get. Providence Sharon Kane, of course, is our uh, she doesn't like me to mention her, but she's our executive producer, the person that is I'm indebted to for me actually being on all these videos, period, whether it be television or whether it be on the YouTube level. Now, if you guys want to um, donate, because we could use your money. I don't want to put it like that, but we could use money to be able to do the things that we do. Um, let me see. Do I have a? Well, I'll just tell you. We're on. Go to the Cash App, hit the $, type in Chief Apostle Kepha. Chief Apostle Kepha. That's with the $. Or now that's the one that we usually use. You can go to Chime, and I'm just now finding out about this stuff. Um, let's see what the Chimes thing says. You can go to Chime and hit the $ and type in Kepha, capital K, Kepha, Kepha, slash Israel, capital I, SREAL slash number 1. Okay, that's the ways you can give right there. You have um Cash App, $ Chief Apostle Kepha. Kepha is spelled Kepha. You can go to Chime and hit the $ and type in capital K, Kepha, Kepha, slash capital ISREAL slash number 1. Now, I promise the next time I come on, I'll have all this stuff together, and you guys can see how to put all this in there. Uh, but you gotta again. I want to emphasize the part of having wisdom. Let me go back to that, because it won't. I can't just leave it alone. My spirit man won't let me leave it alone. And I definitely won't let it leave it. Psalms 32:8. Let me instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. And then let me get to the bottom part of it. It says, let me counsel my eye be on you. Whew. It doesn't, to be this person of wisdom, you just don't give droplets of wisdom and then go. No, you make sure that your word does not fall on bad ground. I'm not saying chase nobody down. That's hardly what I'm saying. But what I am saying is to make sure that people execute your wisdom, your teaching, your instruction correctly. Blessings to you, Prophetess Mills. It's good to see you. You got to make sure that you are relaying a message that's effective enough that it is being executed correctly. Help me, somebody. Why do you think when people go to counseling sessions with their spiritual counselor, their psychologist, whatever the case may be, why do you think they have sessions? More than one. Because this has to be practiced in your mind over and over again till you get it right. It's got to be practiced over and over and over again. Okay? Some of y'all like, oh man, I done gave you a drop of word of wisdom. Let me just get away from me. No, you got to be open at all times. Sometimes it could be in the middle of the night. This is one thing that used to piss off people about me so bad that I was dating that folks would call me at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, or they would call a phone. They don't necessarily have my personal number, but they would call, and it would be up to me whether I responded or not. Now, if it sounded that, again, that's where discernment comes into play. You got to discern the importance and the need of the situation. Am I talking to somebody out there? Am I really talking to somebody? You got to discern the circumstance and situation. And now you just don't jump up out of bed for anybody. Let me just say that. You don't jump up out of bed for just anybody or anything, because you never know when people are trying to set you up and trap you and do different things, because I've been caught in circumstances and situations where I've been trapped. Okay. Didn't know it. Just was doing things out of the kindness of my heart. And I messed around and had all kind of stuff come up out of the situation. So we got, again, the spirit of discernment has to be used. And it has to be used in a way that it protects you. Hello, somebody. I'm trying to keep it real with y'all now. It protects you. And when it protects you, guess what happens? Then you have used very, very selective wisdom. And in the part of selective wisdom, you can gain access to grow in the body of Messiah faster than what you could ever dream of. Hello, somebody. Faster than what you could ever dream of. It's amazing how we can take this correlation of Psalms 32:8, and then we take the correlation of Proverbs, the 2nd chapter. I want to give you guys a little bit more. I don't know why, but I just feel like I need to give y'all just a tad bit more. Let's go to let's do this. Let's go to Proverbs 50. Proverbs the 15th chapter and then the 22nd verse. Proverbs 15, and let's go to 22. I feel like giving y'all just a tad bit more, even though my time is running out. Okay, here we go. Proverbs 15 and 22. Listen closely now, or read with me. Either way it go. Without counsel, plans go wrong, but by great counselors, they are established. Wow. Wow. Without counsel, plans go wrong. You got to have strategy, calculated judgment, and again, discernment in the part of receiving counseling. See, if you don't receive counseling, you can't give counseling. That part. You got to be able to receive wisdom in order to produce more wisdom, to produce the essence of wisdom. My goodness. Proverbs 15 and 22. Without counsel, plans go wrong, but by great counselors, they are established. We are established by people of wisdom, of discernment, of diligence that have been tried by the fire. Y'all better hear what I'm saying. They have been tried by the fire. What does that mean? That means they've been through the test of time. They've come out bruised. I tell people all the time, I came out of my situation in life with one eye, with half my kidneys working. Oh, y'all don't hear me. My heart chopped up as far as like, physically and mentally and spiritually. But I've wound up coming out with great ability to counsel. You know why? Because I conquered my situation. That's another thing, too. You don't want to deal with people that have not conquered their situation. If they're still deliberating in the situation and still trying to figure this thing out, there's a chance that they might slip off. And you don't want anything or anybody that's slipping off. You want something solid. Ooh, my goodness, somebody. You want something solid. Something that is so airtight that you couldn't squeak in if you wanted to. You couldn't squeak in if you wanted to, because the foundation of faith has been laid in the individual, and they're not going to waver from that. And that is how we keep people from going astray. Woo! Come on, somebody. That's how we keep them from going astray, because we're presenting our conquered situations and we're saying, if I can get through it, you can get through it. Okay? Without counsel, plans go wrong, but by great counselors, they are established. The key is to establish one in their integrity, in their faith, in their ability. Oh my goodness, I wish I had a crowd of Fortune 500 people here. It is the ability to know oneself. As they say, know thyself, and you will be rewarded with stability, because you are established in a word, not just a circumstance, but in a word. I said I was going to stop, and I just keep on going here. You have been established in a word. I know I'm teaching, but I'm prophesying too. You've made it through that part. So now the next part is to show the resiliency and the ability of you yourself to be wise counsel. Am I talking right, somebody? Come on now. Prophet Sharon Kane says, and character. That's right. We got to have character in there too, especially with the way things are nowadays, because it's like a gimme gotcha generation that does things the way they want to do things. So we have to change the mode and the rotation of that by being stable and showing evidence of overcoming situations through wise counsel. Shoo. I'm running out of time, but I'm not running out of word. I got a lot more word, and I'll probably save it for the next time. But I got a lot more to throw at you when it comes down to this counsel, the thing that we all should be seeking for, which is wise counsel, someone to lean on, someone to hold our accountability. Oh, I know I'm talking good. And whoever watches the replay, you're getting yourself something here, because we've got to learn how to let go of the power pendulum and come into the ability to listen and understand. Help me, somebody. The ability to listen and understand. And man, let me tell you something. I'm not worried about whether somebody is black, white, short, fat, gay, straight. I ain't worried about none of that stuff. You want to know why? Because I've been established in my own belief of stability. I am established. So I can be in the room with anybody and it does not change me. I'm helping somebody right here. I can walk in the room with as many devils and as many people that contradict what I think and believe, and still have a great conversation with them, because I'm established by what? Wise counsel. Because what did it say here? What did it say here in Proverbs 15 and 22? It says, without counsel, plans go wrong. Hello, somebody. Without counsel, plans go wrong. So we got to find some type of accountability, some type of stability, some type of way to be established, because we have come from wisdom. We've come from wisdom and we're continuing in wisdom. And we're making a statement, if you will, to the devil to let him know that you are not moved. Whoo, my goodness, help me, somebody. Bishop Paul Burns, blessings to you, sir. It's good to see you. Sometimes you just need someone to just talk to. That's right. That's right. You're not giving them power over you. What you're giving them is an ability to relate with you. Y'all better hear what I'm saying. You're giving them the power to relate with you, and you're using your discernment as to who to talk to. You're using your discernment as to who to talk to. In this world that we living in now, man, if you ain't living, oh God, I can't even say that, because I got people that, woo, if you don't have Christ, man, everything the Bible says is coming to pass. That's the other part of what I teach, which is the end, eschatology. And everything is coming to pass. We are seeing a fixation of a tremendous fixation of, of prophecies coming to pass. I done ran out of time, y'all. I done ran out of time. I hope that something here in the extension class of the School of Eschatology, I hope something that was said by the Holy Spirit in me was able to help you to come to the conclusion about something. Remember, um, if you want to give financially to us, go to the Cash app, hit the $sign, type in Chief Apostle Kepha. Kepha is spelled Kepha. Okay. Or you can give on Chime. You can give on Chime. Hit the $sign, capital K, EPHA, Kepha, slash capital ISREAL slash the number 1. That's on Chime. Okay. I promise I have all this stuff up the next time I come on here so you guys can start giving or whatever the case may be. And listen, there is nothing better than to be recognized by the Most High. His love is steadfast and unmovable in our lives. And we are thankful to be under the covering of such a great God. Okay. I am on the Now Network tomorrow, every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. So I won't be on this platform tomorrow, but I will be on this platform again after tomorrow to give more of the extension class for you guys to be able to excel, especially in spiritual counseling. I'm Dr. Kepha Ben Israel, apostle to the body of Messiah, Archbishop in our Lord's church. And I love every last one of you. I'll see you again real soon.